and welcome back to another Chain World. As always, Rock here. And it is a lovely day. Christmas has passed, so we don't have our Rocky Christmas skin anymore. Today we're going to head back over to where the Christmas tree was built. Figured I'd do a little run, give you the view of, surprisingly enough, I saw this view while I was trekking some stuff over there, and I was like, that is pretty cool. I think you could see it from the initial question mark apostrophe, which is pretty cool. That's the one thing I like about this so far, is that, like, you start off in this area, and then you have, you know, off in the distance, you can see the glimmer of something. We got a glimmer of this over here. We have this. If you have a higher render distance than I have right now, I think I'm at 8, but you can see that, you can see that. We look behind us, we see a bridge that's barely poorly made, but it'll be finished at some point. We get over to our bridge, which definitely will be polished up. Start coming across the bridge. Come on, where is it? Oh yeah, look at that giant tree, little star on it. It comes in the view. I like it. I'm hoping that's kind of something that people will continue on, and our descendants will be continuing on to build stuff within the range of the initial spawn area. So, you know, as more and more people kind of join into the world in the future, you'll start seeing more and more pretty cool things off from wherever you are, and you kind of gives you a bit of wonder, a bit of exploration that to be had. But I going back over to where we built our tree, I kind of picked out a spot where I would like to start the construction on our first house of the area. I got a few supplies that might be good for us. Hopefully it's more than enough for what we need. We'll see. Door. Bed. We'll plop this bad boy down. I don't feel like having to run all the way back to base should it start getting nighttime. First things first, we are going to have to expand upon the terrain over here. I need some hardened clay, I think, and maybe some of this. We will have to expand the terrain a little bit, as right here is where I'm wanting to put the door, and then this is the outline of the building. However, as you can see, the terrain needs to be brought out a bit. So we'll try to smoothly kind of glide out the terrain a bit. I'm not exactly the best at terraformer by hand, but it will have to do. It's more or less trying to, from what I could tell, just smooth things out, make them look smoother. Something like that. Okay, we're getting there. Again, we're wanting to bring this out probably a few blocks. I do have, in at least the designs that are the way I design my houses, I'm gonna need a bit of extra space at the front, so we could have stuff that coincides with the pillars on the corners and such. Okay, something like that, maybe right here. I wish I had, actually I can just do this. We'll have to expand it out a little bit more, but for now, let's worry about getting the house up and running, and then we can worry about fiddling with the terrain a bit more. So, the designs I'm going to be using for right now are kind of a how I learned how to do kind of house building. And so it's what I'll be showing you guys, and hopefully it will come in handy for you guys when it comes to learning how to build your houses. One of the big things that I learned with building houses is a lot of it comes down to patterns, repeatable patterns. It's more or less the way I do it is repeatable pattern building. It looks good, it's functional, and it looks a lot better than a lot of the flat houses that you might see, or flat house you might build when you first first start playing Minecraft. So the way it's done is, because of the way it's done, it gives a lot of depth to the house, it gives a lot of complexity to it, and it looks good. So first things first is we want to create our repeatable pattern, and it will kind of go along the thing. So the way that our pattern is going to go is there's going to be 3 spaces with a wood in between them. So 1, 2, 3 wood, 1, 2, 3. So we'll start out by setting up our beams. 2, 3, which we'll have to clear out some of these dead branches. So we'll first start out by setting up our beams for the house, and then we'll work on filling in the pattern within it as we go. So first things first, we have our beams. After that, I would like to set up a kind of a lining for the beginning of the house. Again, this is going to be where the door is, so we'll just we'll leave a hole there. This is kind of the trim, the ground trim for the house. One way to make your house look really good is to use kind of colors that work well together, and using multiple sets of colors that work well together. Just using some wooden planks and some logs isn't going to really make your house look that popping. And I'm going to have to double check to make sure I've got my design working correctly. Yes. And actually, I'll worry about that in a second. So next thing we're going to do, let's double check. All right. I have my picture of my house that I built on a fracture. It's in the CTM map that have been called the collab map. I can't. Titans Revolt. There we go. And I initially got that, made that house design there, and then I kind of took it in fractured realms. So next, we're gonna do something along the lines of that. These is gonna be our wall colors. So as you can see, they're complementing colors. The browns and the grays go well together, and we want to make sure we build up. Oh, it's turning nighttime already. Build up our walls. We're going to end up going 4 tall with our walls. For now, we'll just do these 3, just to give you an idea of what it will look like. I will be adding in some windows here in a second. I'm not going to go all the way around just yet, so you can get an initial idea, and we want to get some sleep in here in a second. Okay, let's grab the door as well. Kind of slowly showing you how our setup is going to be. No, not that. So as you can see, we have a sense of repeatable patterns. We have pillar, wall, 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 pillar, wall, 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 pillar. So we're just going to be adding on to the pattern and building upon the complexity of what we have with it. I'll worry about continuing around it in a second. So we're just going to continue to build upon it. So first things first, I would like to add a window. We'll put it here. Okay. We'll do the same over here. Put a window. Don't worry about the ground. We'll get to that in a second. As you can see, we're starting to build the outline of our house. Looks nice and all. However, it still is a bit flat. Let's go ahead and set up the rest of this real quick, and we'll want to plug in our windows as well. I think I'm just going to do windows around the whole exterior of the house. It looks good, and it'll allow for a good amount of light to get into the house. I don't think I need that on my bar right now. No, I didn't want to build it. We'll get back to that in a second. Now, one thing, if you're playing in a hardcore difficulty like this, is you want to be careful about your moving around, especially when we get up to a higher elevation, which we'll be doing here in a minute, it's going to be very easy to take some fall damage, which isn't exactly the happiest of things. Oh, no, not you. Okay. Boop. Boop, boop, boop. Tossing the window right here again. Again, of course, you could probably set up this to be a doorway. However, I think I'm just going to want one doorway into the building. And that should be fine, really. I don't think we really need too much too much doorways into here. Okay. Again, it's some more windows. Alright. Gotta make sure nothing sneaks up on me. Especially since we haven't properly lit up most of the area as of yet. Now what I'm thinking with this area is I'm probably going to... what I'm going to do for this is I'm probably going to set it up with natural lighting versus kind of the torch lighting that we have here. Or more of in-ground lighting than we have. The spawning area, probably... it looks fine how it is. However, I'm thinking with this city, I'm going to go more of a hidden lighting versus just kind of torches put around. And I'm sure someone in the future, maybe they'll do something similar. But I think for now, the torches are just fine. Okay. Getting ourselves our walls. Okay, almost done with that. Alright. 2, 3. And... alright, perfect. So we have our base walls set up. And we'll get into here after we do everything else. But we have our base walls set up. Now, as you can see, it already looks better than having just like wood logs on the corners and planks in the middle. We have a bit of variety to the pattern, or to the walls. There's patterns, and there's variety within the patterns. So the next thing we're wanting to do is let's give it some depth. With that, I'm going to grab myself some... we're going to need to make some stuff. Some stuff that I didn't make preparation. Bedrock. We're going to want to make ourselves... want to make ourselves some stairs. It's probably going to be more than enough stairs. We'll do that. But like I was saying, we want to start adding depth to the building. So first things that we can do is we can add some little post onto the walls, onto the tops of the roof. This will start to give it a little bit of depth. As you can see, the house is starting to pop out at us instead of just kind of sit there flat and kind of boring. So first step, we added some post. Okay, it's starting to look good. It's starting to look better. We could do better, though. So let's start adding some decoration to the house, more or less. Okay, as you can see, that looks good. And gives us a bit more depth to the house. I like that. We can also go ahead and put this like this. And already the house is starting to look even better. We have good color variation. We have colors that complement each other. And we have depth to it. So let's do that real quick along the other sides. Do. Hoop. However, much that to think that we might be done would be incorrect. We still actually have plenty more that we can do to add to the depth, add to the complexity, and still make it look even better. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. Now, the nice thing about repeatable patterns when it comes to houses is that it's not a static kind of thing. You can change the pattern, and it makes the house look completely different, but still looks good. Another nice thing about it is that you could take these patterns and you can change the shape of it. You can extend the patterns, and it's still going to look good. So using these repeating patterns by changing the width of maybe the pattern, or the width of, or how many patterns we use, or how many times we stack the patterns, or how we bend the shapes, we can get different looking houses. Like I could take this same pattern and make a ton of different looking houses. They look similar. However, the big difference is their shape and size. Okay, so we have our outline, or our depth added to this. But we're not done yet, like I said. We can make more depth to it. No, not that. We need some trap doors. There we go. We can add a little bit of complexity to it now. Nope, not you. There we go. Adding ourselves a bit more complexity, but still making it look simple, making it look clean and good. That's fine. It doesn't really matter which way it shuts in, shuts out. It's more of an aesthetic kind of thing than anything. Oh, look at that. That looks like a nice house. It'll fit well in with the area for the most part. We're in kind of a foresty area, so having this wood isn't too bad. I might switch up the materials at some point, depending on everything. But I think it'll look good. It's very earthy toned, which is kind of what this is, somewhat earthy toned. All right, so we have the outside done. We still have to do a roof, and we still have to do the inside. So next, let's get inside. We're going to want to work on the floors. As the outside is kind of these kind of oak and spruce finish, we'll try to use a different material for the inside, the inner floors. I'm going to need some more of these. And I think we are going to need some stairs. That might be enough. Alright, so now that we can get on the inside, looks pretty good from the inside. However, we're going to do one small little change to it. Work on polishing up the inside. Now, with the inside, I think what we're going to do is we're going to drop it down half a block to give you kind of a you step into your house. And it'll also make the room feel a bit bigger. So let's kind of clean this out. We're going to drop this, take out the floor, and then we'll go ahead and use slabs to kind of drop us down a half a block. It'll make it a little bit more interesting, and it'll allow you to, like I said, step in and step out of your house versus just kind of walk in, walk out. And the added benefit of making the inside bigger than the outside. Yep. Okay. Before we get to that, we're gonna have to clean up the trim of the inside, which we'll be using this slabs, and I need some wood, which I so awesomely left out here, which I'm gonna have to sleep again. As we watch the sunset, the colors, the beauty, the awe-inspiringness of it. Okay. We'll have to clean up the trim on the inside just to make sure it looks good in comparison to what is right now. Yeah, we'll do the corners as well. Not that you'll ever see these blocks, but we'll know about it, so we might as well clean it up. Okay, we're almost done cleaning up or getting rid of these blocks, and we'll just slap down some more blocks. For this, it'll just be plopping down these in the corners, continuing the post. Okay. For the walls, we'll add... I don't know why I missed that one. For the walls, we'll just keep... We'll bring down the stone slabs, and that is going to get changed to something else, which we'll do in a second. But we'll continue down the stone slabs like so. Alright. And we'll get to the what's under the window here in a second, which I don't put a window here. There has to be a window here. That's how it works. Window. There we go. And I actually can put the door back here now. Perfect. For the floors and the windows, or under the window, we'll be using... I didn't put that in the corner. We'll be using birch wood. I think that will give it a good look to the floor. It will contrast the exterior a little bit. It'll make it look, should make it look better. Okay. Now using our slabs, we can continue on. Plop down the slabs on the floor. For right here, we'll probably put a stair, I think. Maybe. Let me see. Let's get the floor down and then we'll play with it. Trying to remember how I set this up exactly for the insides. I'd have to switch over to double check. But I'm pretty sure we dropped it down a half a block like this. And I want to say... Actually, we might have used full blocks in here. Did we drop it down? I think we dropped down half a block. Not a full block. Have anything we can play around it with it, should we need to. All right. Was it a full block? Let me check on my design real quick just to make sure. I'll be right back. There we go. That's much better. I was apparently a little off with my floor height. I went back, looked at my design, and fixed up. I just took out the slabs, removed the floor, and put in some birch planks. There we go. That looks much better. So as you can see, our insides look pretty good. We've got a nice little window we can step up to and look out of. Overall, this is a solid inside, I would say. Now, we brought down the floor, more or less, to make it more spacious, and because we have a roof that we have to add in. Which I think I may have enough birch planks. We will see. But I believe we put the roof right here. Yeah. Alright. Let's go ahead and fill in the ceiling / roof. I'll get to what we'll be doing up there in a second. But we'll just go ahead. Oh, not you. Go ahead and fill this in. I may or may not have enough wood for filling this in. Well, let's hope for the best. Because I think this is all the birch I have on me right now, which I'd have to go chop a few birch trees down. Alright, I think we'll have enough with that little bit extra that's in my inventory as well. I think so. We're good by 3. I knew something looked wrong because we wouldn't have been able to put lighting down on the floor, to put anything down. Okay, so now that we have... It's almost nighttime again, jeez. Days, they go by so quick. Now that we have that, we can go ahead. I'm just going to make myself a temporary little staircase to get up here. The roof could definitely use some spicing up. From down here, it looks okay. From up there, it's not going to be that good. So let's go ahead. And we're going to spice up the look of the roof. As we're not doing a traditional house kind of thing where there's a pointed roof, we have a flat roof, and so we need something to, like I said, spice it up. Okay, so let's see. I should do that. And we're fence post again. I thought it was like that. No. No. Fence post. They changed it at 1.8, didn't they? Did they make it do this? Oh, it's a fence gate. Something's not right. It used to be this. I'm gonna have to look at what they did to it. Wait, did they do... as you can tell, I've not really played much of 1.8. I think it goes like this. Yeah! There we go. We learn something new every day. Learning with Rock. And it's getting nighttime. Happy fun time, learning session with Rock. It only takes a little bit of time. We'll eventually figure it out. Okay. So it goes like that. That? Oh, that's right. Oh, I forgot about that. They made colored fence. Okay. Well, that could be problematic. Well, we'll have spruce fences should we need them at some point. Alright, so like we were saying, we're wanting to spice up the roof a bit. So what we could do is we could add some... Oh, I used all my logs. Damn it. We could add some more depth to this roof. Extend these posts that are on the house up one. Then we could go ahead, and I actually don't think these need to be... Yeah. We don't have the birch. This is problematic. Well, we have slabs. That'll do. That'll do. This will be our little secret. These aren't actually birch. Don't tell anyone. I mean, I could just take some of the saplings I brought and farm some trees, but that doesn't sound like fun now, does it? I already did enough of that trying to get some of the wood that I needed last episode and this episode. Surprisingly enough, wood is always one of those commodities that you never have enough of. Cobblestone, plenty. Wood, never enough. Okay. That will give us proper looking ceiling floor. Should we need to come up here. And from that, we can probably put some fence posts like this. That will give us a nice little area up here. I might possibly put a ladder well on the inside that leads up to here. That could look good. And as for lighting, for now, we'll just go with something like this. Yeah, I think that'll do. And there, we have now spiced up the look of our roof. So it's no longer just a flat roof that looks plain. It's actually got some fencing on it, some depth to it. Perfect, perfect. Now, I'm probably not going to go ahead and go into building up the house this episode. We need some ladders now. Didn't prepare. Rock prepared as always. I got sticks, though. If I put them down. Making a mess of my inventory. Oop. Alright, let's just go with something like right here. This looks like as good a spot as any. Now, if I made the house a bit bigger, we could have easily added in a staircase, but I think with a house of this size, it would probably be too small to have a staircase. Well, we could have a staircase in here. I think I'm going to leave it as a ladder well for now, but we could definitely put a staircase in here if we wanted. I can't put the fence trapdoor. I don't have the trapdoors on me anyways. Those will do. We'll, I'll probably spruce it up, add some furniture into it another time. But that definitely makes for a nice house. I think if we might be able to add a staircase into it. I might have to experiment with it between episodes. See if I can get a staircase in there. But in general, the main gist of this was just to show you guys a building style for houses that makes it look pretty good. Actually, no, we're not done. Now that I think of it, there's one more thing we can do. One more thing. Let's grab some cobblestone. I almost forgot about this. We can add a little bit more pattern around here. Not something that's necessary, per se, but it does give it a bit more depth. Today's keyword is depth. There we go. Let's try to get upper. Ah, yeah, that looks awesome. Alright, I'm happy with this. We'll just have to terraform this out a bit more, but I think I can save that for an between episodes kind of thing. We don't necessarily need to do it this episode. And I think the episode's running a good length for now, so that will probably do it for today. I think I might put together another house or two between episodes just to kind of show you using the repeatable patterns kind of technique and just making minor adjustments. You can make something look really cool. That's a big takeaway for today for this style of house building, repeatable patterns. Having something that you can repeat and make minor adjustments to and expand upon will ultimately make a much better looking house than something that's flat. But that's it for today. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, or feedback, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. As always, this is Rock with the Chain World. And I'll catch you guys next time. Bye!